What's up, guys? Wrestling King, or also known as BuRsTiN King, and I thought I'd do a pretty cool new series today. This is gonna be King's story time, and this is where I'm gonna be talking to you guys about some pretty interesting stories that have happened to me in the past. So, before I start this video, I just want to say sorry for my inactivity, guys. I really am. I haven't uploaded in like a week, and my reason being is because I had my high school exams. In case you guys don't know what those are, they're pretty big tests that high schoolers have to take to review what they've learned in school. And also, this is a theater mode game, guys. Sorry, but... And also, you're probably wondering why I'm using a machine gun. And I'm going to be explaining that in a couple days. And you guys are not going to like it. But let's not worry about that. And we'll learn about that soon. Why I am not using a sniper. But anyways, let's get right into my story time. And today's story is going to be how I broke my left arm twice. And this is pretty interesting because I have like 3 scars on my arms, my left arm. But anyways, first story on how I broke my left arm, or first time I broke my left arm, was when I was 6 years old. And back in Pennsylvania, my dad would always take me to this park by a school. The school would always let kids like go play on there, and no one really cared. And I don't think there was anyone there at the time. It was just my dad and I, and we were having some fun in the playground. And I went on the swing. And I asked my dad to push me, of course, because I didn't know how to swing at the time. So I had my dad push me, and I saw my brother do this one time when I was young. I saw him like jump off the swing, and something made me want to go try that. So that made me want to suddenly just go have my dad push me as hard as he could. And at the moment where I thought I was high enough, I ended up jumping off the swing, and something made me want to try to fly. I really don't know why. I was being kind of stupid, but I ended up jumping off the swing, trying to see if I could land properly, but actually, I did not land properly. I ended up landing into the mulch so hard, with my left arm being the first to land, and I completely crushed it. I like had my whole left arm buried into the mulch. Literally, it was completely buried into the mulch. If you looked, like, every part of my body was fine, but my whole left arm was just completely buried into the mulch. So I pulled myself out, and my dad's like running to his car to go call someone. I didn't know what he was doing, but anyways, so I got myself up, and I look at my arm, and I'm literally like screaming in pain. And this is kind of funny. So at first I'm screaming in pain, but then I look at my arm, not screaming anymore. I'm like, what the heck did I just do? But then I go back to screaming, and my dad's like, I think it's broken. And I hated the feeling of knowing what a broken bone would be like, so I kept on screaming, no, it's not broken, it's not broken, just because I didn't want to go to the hospital. And I'm sure that's how some kids were. But so that's how I broke my first left arm, and I ended up having a cast on for a pretty long time. Actually, I can't really state how long I had a cast on, but I can tell you this: I got like 5 pins in my elbow. I'm not sure if I think I broke my elbow other than my arm. But other than that, I literally had like 5 pins in my elbow to hold my bones together, and I had a cast on for a pretty long time. So, and they kept my arm in a locked position, so I couldn't move my arm in any way. So, occasionally after they took off my cast, I couldn't even move my arm because I was like so used to being in that one position, and it was pretty weird. But anyways, later I had to go get my pins taken out. And it was such a bloody scene for me. I literally wanted to throw up afterwards. But it was a pretty interesting experience for me, and I found it crazy how I actually broke my left arm. But anyways, second time how I broke my left arm was when I was 10 years old. And I was not living in Pennsylvania at the time. I was living in the same state I live in now. I'm not going to announce that, guys. Sorry, but that is personal information. But anyways, so how I broke my left arm a second time is I was playing ice hockey, and again, I was like 10 years old, and I think, yeah, it was tryouts, it was hockey tryouts, so I was working my butt off to make this team that I really wanted to be a part of. And then basically we scrimmaged at the very end, so it was actually like towards the very end of the tryouts. And I still play with that same hockey team I play with today. And that's where everyone knows me now, just because of what happened that day. That's what people know me for. I'm not kidding. But anyways, so basically the coach assigned us all to do a scrimmage, and I was on the ice chasing this kid down the ice, and I didn't hit him, but I tried to take the puck from him, and I was just going too fast. I'm not saying that I don't know how to stop or anything, but something made me go out of control, and this guy literally like did a nice move on me where I missed him, and I ended up going crashing into the boards. And again, my left arm was the first one to collide with my body, and I completely crushed it. And after I felt that, like, my whole bones just like snap, like after feeling all that pain, I immediately knew it was broken again, and I was just like, oh my gosh, is this really happening? And immediately I started crying, but after that I picked myself up and tried to not cry anymore, and kind of toughen up. So afterwards I stopped crying, but I laid on the ground with a broken arm, and my coach went up to me, and he's like, what's the matter? I'm like, I think I broke something, and he's like, oh no, I think you're fine. Literally, the coach like didn't even care what happened. He thought I was being a wimp. Hello, I stopped crying. But anyways, I kept on telling him, I'm being dead serious. My whole arm, it feels like it's broken. And he's like, oh no, I think you're fine. I think you're fine. And he walked me off the ice, and I was holding my arm. And my dad could already tell that my arm was broken because he doesn't usually see me whine, whine about stuff like this much. So he automatically knew my arm was broken. So I was taken into the locker room, and it was a huge struggle to take all my hockey pads off, of course, because my arm was broken, and I would have been in a lot of pain. Luckily, the goalie, one of my goalies had a father who was a doctor, and he assisted me to get all my pads off, and he helped me just fine. And it turned out pretty good, so that worked. And then I was taken to the hospital, and gosh, I literally had to get two, not pins this time, but like they were rods. They were like these little rods, and they were put into my arm to keep my bones held together. And so I had like several operations. So it was for when I was 6 also. I had to get like so many operations done. That's why I have the scars on my arm. And so I got a ton of operations. And the first 2 operations were it wasn't really an operation, but what they did was they shook my arm around to, or I think this is what they did. They shook my arm around to try and see if they could put my bones back into place, which obviously didn't really help. And I was kind of awake. I mean, they tried putting me to sleep, but occasionally, I don't know if I was dreaming or what. This was so weird, but I literally felt like I was actually awake because I kept on seeing my parents. I kept on seeing the doctors. And it's this weird doctor thing where I'm like, God, I can't really explain it, but it was just such a weird moment for me during that surgery time. But when they were putting the rods in me, that was my official surgery to hold my bones together, and then I had to wear a cast for a pretty long time, so that all went well. Well, didn't really go too well, but so that's what happened. And I did get to finally move my arm around though, instead of having my arm locked in position with my cast. So that was a pretty good thing from that. And I also got a waterproof cast, which was even better. So I guess my left arm break when I was 10 years old wasn't as bad, but it was still pretty bad. But anyways, guys, that is how I broke my 2 left arms. And I hope you guys enjoyed this story. And I'll have more stories for you guys later. And again, guys, sorry for my inactivity. And again, I'll explain to you guys later why I'm using a regular gun, machine gun and stuff. And you guys aren't gonna like that. I'm pretty sure I'm probably gonna get a lot of dislikes on that video. But anyways, if you guys happen to enjoy this video, please give it a like as always, and comment what you think. And please do not be afraid to click that subscribe button. And yes, guys, my blue snowball is back. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. Alright, see you guys later.